All right, here we go. Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Let's see. All righty, we're live. How's it going, guys? My name's Adam Stevens. I'm a wellness coach from St. Louis, Missouri, doing the live show this week. This is episode 14. We're going to call this one Managing Energy. So here we'll probably do 10 to 15 minutes and I'll talk a little bit more about energy and what that means to me and how I use my coach training to kind of help people make breakthroughs with that concept. But before we get started, so I just wanted to say I got a couple days left to register for Wellbeing Bootcamp. If you follow me at all online, you know I've been really pumped up about this group workshop called Wellbeing Bootcamp. It's in Chesterfield, Missouri, coming up this Saturday. I still got spots. I still got time if you want to register. In fact, the workbooks just came in. So here are these really cool workbooks with exercises. All the teachings and the presentations and whatnot are going to be in there. So you should come this Saturday. There's still time to register. Reach out to me, email me, DM me, and I can get you a workbook or get you going on Saturday. So come to Wellbeing Bootcamp. All right. So the next thing is going to be that next Wednesday, June 30th at 6 p.m., I'm going to be doing a free webinar on obesity and transforming, right? So I say this pretty much, this is something I talk about all the time. My story involves losing 125 pounds. So next Wednesday, people ask me all the time, how did you do that? How do you continue to keep the weight off? Next Wednesday, 6 p.m., free webinar on Zoom. There's a link in the description here. You can click on that and it'll take you to a link. You sign up for my community list and I will send you a link and you'll come to the free webinar and you can learn all about how I recovered from morbid obesity and how I continue to keep myself in good shape today. So Wellbeing Bootcamp this weekend, still time to register. Sign up for the wellness webinar next week, June 30th, 6 p.m. And then also you can reach out to me too for one-to-one coaching. I'm taking one-to-one clients. So in saying that, the title for this week's live show is Managing Energy. And so I wanted to start with the basic teaching that I start with every time, right? Feelings, emotions, energy. Those are interchangeable terms in the world that I work in. So when I talk about energy, I want to talk about sort of the emotional state that you're feeling at any given moment. So first off, getting in touch with that is a big deal, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, when I talk about energy, I wanted to kind of talk about the nature of our world that we live in here on planet Earth, or perhaps the cosmos. And that is, there's energy, it's an energetic system, and everything is energy, right? So think about it this way. Rain and water falls from the sky, right? And then grains and fruits and vegetables come up out of the ground and animals eat them and we eat the animals, and there's sunshine, there's grubs and different microscopic organisms in the soil. All sorts of amazing stuff is happening 24/7, 365 on our planet Earth and among us. And we are part of that. We are part of a natural cycle. There's a daily cycle, there's rhythms. Sun goes up, sun comes down, tides come out, times go in, all this stuff. So everything is energy. We live in an energetic system, right? So that's like the basic, that's kind of like the generic way I describe the spectrum in the different ways that our universe moves, and that we can either be in sync with success and positivity, or we can be completely out of sync. Remember, I always talk about an energetic spectrum. The lowest level is the victim, right? The victim is broken. The world's never going to get better. Everything's hopeless, right? So there's the victim. The highest level is just going to be complete openness. This is a spiritual realm, right? None of us embody it all the time, but it's going to be that much more open and expansive sense of spirituality, joy, goodwill, bliss, kindness, compassion, right? So think of that as a spectrum, like an energy scale, right? So most of us run around, the dominant modality that people live and breathe and kind of work within the world is a dominant, it's called duality. That's the dominant worldview. There's a good guy, there's a bad guy, there's light, there's dark, there's me, there's you, or there's me, really there's just me and not me. I have my own personal perceptions of myself, and I have everything that's outside of me, right? The dominant framework is polarization. That's been the biggest buzzword in the last 2-3 years, really since the last election cycle. The last two election cycles was polarization of society, right? Well, that's the dominant framework that the intellect works through from human perspective, is duality, light and dark, good and bad. So I would encourage you instead to think that there's a spectrum within you. There is darkness and light within you, and you can choose at any point to choose your perceptions and tap in to wherever you want to land on that conscious spectrum, right? So, and what I would always say is that I remind this to my clients all the time. You feel, so the feeling, this energy, I have this energy because I believe Y. I feel X because I believe Y. What's the belief system? I feel lonely and sad because I believe I'll be single forever. I feel an intense amount of shame and guilt because I've been binge eating for 2 months and I feel like I'll never get over my eating disorder. I'll never lose the weight, right? So I have a feeling or an emotion, an energy, and it's associated with a belief pattern, right? So all that I do as a coach, when I'm doing mostly wellness or well-being, or even when I'm throwing in some life coaching too, some mindset coaching, all I'm doing is I'm going to key in on that belief and say, is that true, right? I studied philosophy at LSU. One of the great philosophers was a guy named Kant, and Kant said, what is true for one man should be true for all men. So we have to ask ourselves, let's say the eating disorder scenario, right? Has anybody ever gotten better? And the answer to that is yes. So when you say, I'll never get better, is that true? No, it's not true. If you believe it's true, you'll continue to act in accordance with that and you won't recover. You won't improve your health, right? So we have to break out of that mindset. For me as a coach, I'm going to say, is that belief true? And then I'm going to give you the ability to explore and create a new belief. When you create a new belief, within that session, you'll shift your energy. You'll feel different. When you feel different, we come up with an action plan and an accountability plan, and we move you forward. That's what coaching is. It's called motivational interviewing, or I call it smart goal exploration, right? It's shifting mindsets, right? So, in finishing up here, I wanted to say that one of my favorite prophets always says, the kingdom of heaven is among us, right? What I think that truly means in the standpoint of energy is that, you know, peace, joy, love, abundance, grace, these things are available to us at all times. So when we're talking about managing our energy, I want you to think, instead of thinking about managing your circumstances, action's great. We always have to lead with action. Manage your attitude at any given time. Try and get a good sense of what's the energy am I feeling? Am I feeling shame? Am I feeling guilt? Am I feeling compassion, love, empathy? Am I happy? Am I sad? Try and get a good read on what's going on there. And then try and build the awareness of the belief structures. Remember, you feel X because you believe Y. Try and get a good read on your belief systems. And then you can be walking around all day, just kind of like taking a pulse check, right? Like I'm a healthcare practitioner. We take vitals every couple hours. We go in and take vitals. Take a check on your energy. What are you feeling and what's the beliefs associated with that? If you can consistently begin to harness the power of self-awareness and understand what's going on in your head and how that's affecting the energy spectrum of your body, you're going to be able to change your state much more rapidly. When you change your state, you'll be able to change your behavior, and that's when you'll get different results. That's what I want to scream from the mountaintops to everyone, and including my coaching clients, is we're going to shift your belief system. We're going to get you a more positive mindset. That's going to change the way you feel. That's going to change your whole reality, right? I always say that every single time I do a live show, I remind you of the acronym TFA, thought, feeling, action, right? And that's all that coaching is. We're going to sit down. We're going to have a confidential conversation. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want to determine within the first 10 minutes or so of our coaching conversation what we want to work on. And then I'm going to continue to guide you and craft you and help you create the belief systems so you can get what you want, right? So just remember that. Everything is energy, your energy, the world's energy. And then you can always choose your perceptions or your lens. And remember, if there's a whole lot of pain and suffering, you're probably resonating lower in that victim or that anger or that conflict zone. We always have the ability to move higher on the scale. We always have the ability to move up and take a more conscious viewpoint, the spiritual viewpoint, when we realize that things will be okay, that God created a beautiful, benevolent world, that your life is sacred, that you're amazing. You can always stand up and take your birthright, take ownership of that thing, man. You were created for a purpose. You are a magical thing. The world loves you. God wants to bless you with amazing stuff. Stand up every day and take advantage of that. Take your birthright and show up as someone that knows you're enough. Know you have purpose in the world. And I love to have conversations with my clients where we work from that framework. What would happen if you realized you couldn't make a mistake, that there weren't mistakes in your life, that there were only opportunities, right? That's a massive shift in mindset. So while I finish up here, we're at about 10 minutes. I just want to remind you, always be choosing that mindset, choosing your lens, your filters, your perceptions. And when you do that, you will start to see how the beliefs are showing up as physical energy within you, and you'll be able to change that. And another thing, sometimes those are heavily influenced by physiology, how we feel currently. And two great ways I'm going to tell you how to bust through if you're having kind of a low energy day or highly emotionally volatile day. Two things I want to tell you. Do some intense cardiovascular exercise. It could just be for 3 or 4 minutes. Do jacks, burpees, just go for a run, climb some stairs. There's a school in my neighborhood. I'll go run stairs. Do some intense physical exercise, 3-4 minutes max. Or the other one, the other way influencer you can change your physiology is take a really cold shower. A lot of times what you can do is, let's say I'm kind of at a midpoint in my day, kind of having a weird day. I'll go do 3 to 4 minutes of an intense exercise, maybe run for a mile or whatever, maybe run, for 10 minutes, come back, take a hot shower, turn the hot water off and stand in the cold water. Stand in the cold water for a minute or two, do a primal scream, whatever. Change your physiology. Change your physiology, foster a healthier mindset, take different actions, you're going to get different results. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. This will be on the hub at adamstevenscoaching.com. It'll also be on YouTube, Adam Stevens Coaching on YouTube. Can't wait to interact with more of you as society opens up more. This weekend, Wellbeing Boot Camp. There's going to be another one in August 21st. There'll be another Wellbeing Boot Camp. Next Wednesday, June 30th, for the obesity webinar, completely free webinar. Sign up on the link below. Or reach out to me one-to-one. You can jump on my calendar. I do one-to-one coaching as well. So anyway, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.